Caps and Stems is a board game about the wild and wonderful world of mushrooms. It's a middleweight game for 1 to 4 players, probably age 14 plus, but I have played it with precocious 10-year-olds, and there is also a simplified version of the rules for young kids. In the normal version of the game, players play mushroom cards onto their tableau. There are rules for how you can stack cards or start new stacks, and there is text on the cards that rewards players depending on the game state. This is a cozy game where players primarily focus on their own playmats, trying to solve a puzzle of how to best sequence their cards. There isn't much direct interference or ruining other people's stuff, but every round more and more mushrooms get placed on the map, which changes potential scoring, so players need to adapt and change their plan as new opportunities arise. Let's talk about the pieces. Each mushroom has 1 or more traits. These traits are shown on the card and on the physical mushroom piece. Delicious, toxic, smelly, poured, unusual, ringed, cultural, and clustered. Most mushrooms have more than one trait. For instance, this one is delicious, smelly, clustered. This one is poured, which means it has a spongy undersurface, cultural, which means humans are fond of it as a medicinal or for dyeing wool, and unusual means it has a shape that is quite different than the usual toadstool look. The sequence of play is simple. Step 1, play a card. You get spores whenever you play a card. As you start stacking cards, you reach spaces that reward you with more spores. In the beginning, it takes a while to accumulate what you need. Then you read the text on the card. Gain 1 point for each ringed card you have, or gain 1 point for each card under this, or if you can spot a parasol, gain 3 points. You score these points immediately, so grab some coins. Bam! Little dopamine hits every single turn. Next is step 2, grow your mushroom. If you can afford it, you can spend spores to get the pieces you need. Then you assemble all the pieces into a 3D mushroom. One thing that surprised me is that playtesters have told me over and over again that they really enjoy putting the pieces together. It's just fun to make your mushroom and then place it on the map. The cards tell you where a mushroom can grow. You place it and score points for the traits in your mushroom, plus the matching traits on all neighboring spaces. So this guy is 2 points because it has 2 traits. But when you place it here, you pick up another point from its neighbor. Or in this case, you get no neighbor points because these neighbors have traits that don't match. Or in this case, wow, you pick up 14 points from all the neighbors with similar traits. You also have an expertise card that levels up whenever you grow next to your mycelium disc, and leveling up gives you special powers that break the rules of the game. Plan ahead, and you can use your special powers to put together a big splashy play. Step 3, draw 2 cards, keep 1, discard the other. That's it. The complexity comes from prioritizing what to do while being pulled in a lot of different directions. Each player has different bonus cards that incentivize them differently. This player wants to play lots of smelly cards while also trying to have a toxic card in all 5 stacks. This player is trying to create a fairy ring to score at the end of the game, but also gets points for having cards with exactly 2 traits. At the end of the game, players reveal their hidden bonus cards and add those points to all the points they've already scored during gameplay to find out who is the victor. A game like this appeals to people who enjoy solving puzzles and maximizing points and resources without too much interference, although you need to be flexible and constantly adjust your plan because new incentives keep tempting you to make different choices. I've already playtested the game with more than 250 people. I hope to launch the game on Kickstarter in the first half of 2025. If you want to keep track of the game's progress, check out capsandstemsgame.com. Thanks for watching.